Hello buddies and scallywags. Have you ever wondered when is the best time to buy cards to master a new Pokemon set? Or the real difference in cost between mastering using singles or buying packs? I'm Obvious Scully, and today's Obvious Goal is to figure out when and how is best to master a new set, using data from Stellar Crown in preparation for the release of Surging Sparks. To answer this question, I collected pull rate data for Stellar Crown from breaks done by Game Capital streamers.
Today's a good day, chat.
I also gathered TCG Player market price for booster packs and hits. While I did not factor in the prices or probabilities for commons, uncommons, and rares, those cards' pull rates and prices are negligible compared to the double rares or higher. Stellar Crown is a relatively small set compared to other full-size sets. Stellar Crown only has 13 illustration rares. This is the second lowest of all Scarlet and Violet sets. The only set that's lower is a special set, and that's Paldean Fates, which only has 3 illustration rares. It's also tied for second for the lowest amount of special illustration rares, having 6 special illustration rares. Shrouded Fable, once again a special set, has the lowest amount of special illustration rares with 5. We considered our sample size large enough when we had 30 of each rarity pulled. To do this, we got up to 5,409 packs for the sample. There are 50 double rare or higher hits in Stellar Crown. I gathered market value data the Monday before release, when Play Pokemon stores can do breaks. I also collected this data for release day, the Monday after release day, the week after release day, and a month after release day. Market values fluctuate wildly around a release day. Before release, only certified hobby shops can post on TCG Player with pre-release cards. Demand is significantly higher at this point than supply. On release day, any seller can list on TCG Player, which dramatically increases the supply, and many sellers will try to undercut each other to race to the bottom, as people price their inventory lower to try and sell it more quickly. After the initial weekend, prices usually rebound and stabilize. At this point, playability and rarity become key factors in determining a card's value. While most cards drop in value, a few cards can rise dramatically, such as the Greninja Special Illustration Rare from Twilight Masquerade, when it became obvious that the supply was much lower than the demand. In summary, we're going to use pull rate data from over 5,000 packs along with TCG Player market values to determine when the best time would have been to purchase cards for Stellar Crown and how much more expensive it would be to buy packs versus buying singles. First, let's examine how prices have changed for each rarity, starting with Special Illustration Rares. 5 of the 6 special illustration rares from Stellar Crown hit their lowest price on the Monday post-release. The most valuable special illustration rare, the Terapagos, had a less dramatic drop, but continued to decline on the Monday after release to the following week. Next, let's look at illustration rares. Overall, these cards dropped in value from pre-release and release day, but then remained relatively stable from this point on. It is important to note that some illustration rares are doing extremely well right now, like the Magikarp from Paldea Evolved or the Groudon from Paradox Rift. However, since we are focusing on finding the best time to buy a card, those large increases in price months after release are not really relevant to this topic. Moving on to gold cards, these have had the hardest pull rate of any card rarity in Scarlet and Violet era sets. However, the value of gold cards often relies on their playability. They are not usually one that gains a lot of value due to their artwork. One important thing to note about high rarity, high value playable cards is their price will drop very quickly once they are out of rotation or are replaced with a different meta. All 3 gold cards from Stellar Crown are very playable. And though the Bravery Charm has been consistently valued lower than Area Zero or Terapagos golds, all 3 cards saw price increases after their low point on the Monday following release. Now let's turn to full art cards and ace specs. While there were more variation in value within the cards in the full art category, both rarities followed a similar trend, dropping significantly between pre-release and release, and then rebounding the following week. Lastly, let's consider regular art cards. Like gold cards, playability becomes a huge factor with these cards. 13 of the 14 regular art cards are not very playable, and you can see that in their values. However, the playable double rare, Terapagos EX, not only held higher values than all the other cards, but did see an increase after release. It will likely drop to a fraction of its current value after it rotates out. So for now, I'd probably recommend selling all copies that you pull. Alright, let's get on to the main question. How much would it actually have cost to master this set? For singles, it's simply the sum of the card values at each point in the timeline. For mastering by opening packs, you need to multiply the TCG Player booster pack market value by the number of packs you've decided it would take to master the set. For us, we're going to look at if it only took you 50 packs to master the set. In other words, in every single pack, you pulled a different double rare or better. The perfect pull rate, if it would take 833 packs to open, which was the number it took Choco Milk 384 from the Game Capital to master the set while doing breaks, and 1413 packs, which is how much we would expect based on the pull rates if you didn't get any duplicates. You can also watch this video here if you'd like to know more about how we do these pull rates and how they compare to other Scarlet and Violet packs. Okay, now let's look at the prices. The cheapest way for one person to master the set is just to be extremely lucky. If you only had to open 50 packs to master this set, it would be the cheapest with pre-release prices and prices all the way to a month after. However, if you were able to master the set in 833 pack like Choco Milk did, link in the description, it would cost you thousands more dollars. And if you had to open 1413 packs to pull every card in this set and master it, which is still actually pretty lucky, it would cost you thousands more than if you mastered it as quickly as Choco did. On the other hand, if you bought singles at pre-release, you would have had to spend $943. However, if you bought them a week after release, it would have cost you $450 less, and you would have been able to master the set for under $500. It is important to note that this does not take into account selling cards. If you bought your own packs, you would get the bulk from every single pack and the code card from every single pack, and you could sell those back. Also, you're more than likely to get some duplicates, and some of those duplicate cards are probably worth more than the packs. In those cases, you could make some of your money back that way. However, selling cards takes extra effort and time. But if that is something you're interested in, you may want to check out this video right here where I talk about how to package up cards for selling on TCG Player. Also, one of the most fun things about Pokemon cards is pulling your chase card out of a pack.
Holo rare, that's sick. So we got the holo and the reverse. I like that a lot. Holy shit! Oh my god!
That is not something that you will ever get from buying a single. Given the data, here is my suggestion. Set a budget for how much you want to buy in packs, and stick to that budget. You can buy them early from breakers such as Game Capital or Troll and Toad Live. Links will be in the description. Whatever cards you don't pull from those packs, you should buy as singles. In this way, you'll be able to get the fun from pulling cards or getting them pulled for you in breaks and not break the bank. As long as you're buying the Monday after release, you should probably get a reasonable deal for those cards. While I can't guarantee this is the best strategy, it is the approach I personally will take for Surging Sparks. I will post a video detailing how much I spent on packs and how much I spent on singles to master that set a month after its release, and its release is in 2 weeks. If you want to see that video or other Pokemon TCG content, please consider subscribing. And if you want to watch me lose my mind doing Nuzlocke all November, check out my Twitch channel. Either way, have a wonderful day.